Hello, I hope you can hear me. Okay, now we want to look into what we call major and minor inducement. And we know our usual market structure. In this scenario, let's look at a bearish market structure. We want price to, first of all, when price is making different up and down movement, you want price to make this type of movement. Price went up, came down. This high point is now regarded as our what? As our inducement. Then price will take the inducement. Price can form different type of pullback. That's a minor pullback before it now take out this structure low. Then this now becomes our what? Our break of structure. Okay, so there are some times that when price can give us a scenario where this is the pullback, but when price is making this pullback, price has given us this minor pullback also before it now take out this low point. Then this is our low, this is our high, right? There are some time and one price to take out an inducement. Now this entire leg move, we can see is this entire leg move is engulfing everything that is happening in between here. So this is the main pullback. This is what I'm talking about. So this is the main pullback. All right, then all this other pullback that is happening in here is now what? It's now minor pullback. So this first point here, we can consider it as our what? This one price will come to this point. This point here will be considered as our what? As our first minor inducement. Then the other one here is going to be considered as our what? Our major inducement. So I hope you are getting it. So why is this? Because price just made this particular movement, forming different candlestick upward, but there's no pullback at the left hand there. So the whole movement here is the one covering everything here. So just like when we have a single candle that will now engulf everything in between here. What I'm trying to talk about is this high point can be our inducement, but between this high point and this low point, we now have another pullback here. This is also called minor inducement. So what we want price to do, price can make a pullback, get to this minor inducement. If it give us our entry to sell downward, we'll do what? We'll take the trade and sell downward. Then if you also if price did not give us our entry there, then price can go to the major inducement and do what? And give us our entry, and then we can also sell downward. So we'll now have two selling opportunity at the minor inducement, at the major inducement. So okay, so the scenario where this cannot be applicable or it can be tricky, this is what I'm going to explain next. So in this scenario, what do we have here? We have a downward movement in the market where we have price is making pullback. Price take the pullback as inducement. Then price made this pullback also and came down, right? Causing a break of structure. Now, can we now say that this particular leg, we know very well that this particular leg engulf everything in between this pullback here, okay? So in this scenario, if we have only this pullback after price has caused a break of structure, we want price to come and then do what? Come and take out this inducement here. It's our minor inducement, right? The price can come and take out the minor inducement. If it give us our entry, we will take it and sell downward, okay? But if price also come and take out this high point, if you give us our entry, we also trade it and trade downward. Then this particular scenario cannot be different when price has come to this high point, give us a candle body closure. Then this market has now changed structure from downward movement to what? To upward movement. Why? Because This is the last pullback after price has caused a break of structure. This is the last pullback, the major pullback. That is the major pullback. So that major pullback there is not going to be considered as our high point, the higher high. Then this minor pullback is not going to be considered as our what? As our inducement. You can call it major inducement, minor inducement, all of those. Minor inducement, major inducement, all of those. Okay, so another scenario that can happen is this. Okay, so if you have been watching our video and understanding the different market structure we have, we have the first one, those simple ones, but there are sometimes it can be, advanced market structure, okay, where we now have, price make pullback, inducement taken, price came down, and then price went up again, made this type of pullback, and what now happened? This is our highest point, right? Our higher high. Then we now know that this particular inducement, price can come to it, give us our entry, we can sell downward. But if no entry there, we want price to come to this next one. This now be our what? This particular supply zone there will be what? That's going to be our decisional order block, because we have another order block at the extreme there. So decisional order block, when price comes to decisional order block, if you see our entry, we can sell. At the same time, this high point now, this last point here, it can be considered as our major inducement also, because this particular leg, you can see it from our previous study, this particular leg engulfs everything that is here until this pullback here. Hope you get it. So there are some times we can see that the additional order block will fail, and then when the additional order block fail, we can see our entry there. Price can give us like maybe single candle order block entry, like a morning star, or sorry, an evening star candlestick pattern. If price give us our entry there, we can also sell downward. All right, another scenario that can happen is, we know that this is the last pullback before the main extreme order block, right? And that last pullback, we know what is called. It's called our engineering liquidity, ELQ. So price can come to the engineering liquidity, give us our evening star candlestick pattern. We can also say that's without price tapping into this extreme order block. So the scenario that can happen here, the major and minor inducement can be used to form market structure. If price come to this particular minor inducement, give us our entry, and then come down, make a break of structure, we now know that this is our inducement, and this will then become our major structure high point. So everything here will now form another new market structure. Everything here will form another new market structure. We know that, right? Break of structure, high point, inducement. So everything here will form another market structure, leaving this particular one behind, because it has not been mitigated and price has moved forward. That is what I'm talking about. So minor and major inducement, we can use it for both market, to form market structure. That's to form another new market structure, meaning that if price come to the minor inducement, give us our entry, and while coming down, there's an inducement also. Price give our break of structure. We want price to come to this another minor inducement. If there's entry, we'll take. If there's no entry, price can come to this May high point, which is the major structural high. Price can give us probably our candlestick body closure, and this will now become another change of character. You now see price will now begin to go upward. It's very simple as that. An example of what I'm talking about. So looking back at this particular structure, this is a volatility 25 index, 25 IS index. So what is happening here? Let me zoom in the chart. We know what is happening here already. Price on the 4-hour time frame, price has come and take out the 4-hour inducement, giving us our evening star candlestick pattern. When I saw this trade, I was waiting for price to come and mitigate this single candle order block, but price never did. So price just came, form another inducement, give us our 4-hour break of structure. Then we'll move on. Then what the price do? See, this is now the minor, where the minor and major inducement comes to play. I zoom in now so you can see it better. Price make all these rays of candlestick. We now have this pullback. Okay, while price is coming back down, you can see what price did there. Price formed another minor pullback before touching this particular low point. After price form it and then price touch it, so causing this major pullback, and then we now have a minor pullback inside that major pullback, and this is now our low point. Then when price was going back to take an inducement, we know already that there must be an inducement before we make our market structure. See what price did there. This particular high point here is now going to be our minor inducement, like we just studied. Then this particular high point here is now going to be our major inducement. We can see that when price take the minor inducement, there was no entry here. Price did not come down immediately, so price just took the minor inducement and continued to go upward until it took the major inducement. Okay, so this is now where I apply. You can be wondering how I got this entry. This is where I now apply my top down analysis. So I'm going to make a video on that top down analysis on how to make an informed decision. So okay, so coming to the 1 hour time frame, we can see what is happening here. Now, like I've explained on my Instagram post, you can check it even on Twitter, that a higher time frame inducement can be a lower time frame change of character. Okay, now we can now see what is happening here. We see that when price came to this minor inducement from the 4 hour time frame, now we're in the 1 hour time frame, you can see it there. So when price came to the minor inducement on the 1 hour time frame, now this structure is not that valid. It didn't give us a complete morning star candlestick pattern, so we leave it there. Then when price, we can see, first of all, let's look at the 1 hour time, time frame structure. We can see, in the 1 hour we have that pullback. Price took inducement, went upward again, giving us all this series of pullback. Then price then give us our low point has been taken out. Then this can be considered as a high point, although not very sharp because there is no valid break of structure there. That's candlestick body closure did not happen, it's just with wick, but we know already from the 4 hour time frame that this is a bearish market. So therefore we can assume this to be what, a break of structure in the 1 hour time frame, then whereby this is now the new inducement on the 1 hour time frame, and this is the high point on the 1 hour time frame. Now recall that on the 4 hour time frame, this particular high point is the major inducement, while this particular one is the minor inducement. Price has taken the minor inducement, no trade there. Then when price came to the major inducement of the 4 hour, and that major inducement of 4 hour now is the highest point on the 1 hour structure. You can now see what price did there. After price came, price took out that high point. After price took it out, see what happened here. We now have our evening star candlestick pattern, whereby we anticipate price to give us to come and tap into the single candle order block, and then it will not be a valid trade. And that was what happened with this trade. So I'm using the 4 hour understanding of what the market is saying to come into the 1 hour now and trade accordingly. That I now assume that this is the 4 hour major inducement which will be taken, but coming to the 1 hour time frame now, the corresponding lower time frame, I have this evening star candlestick pattern giving me confidence to enter this trade and sell accordingly, which was a very beautiful trade. I hope you now understand what I'm talking about. Major and minor inducements, you can use both to trade and look for entry, and probably check on the corresponding lower time frame if the entry is going to be more valid for more confidence. All right, that is it for now. Have a great time.